I think RA, you can take an AD carry here, you can take a mid laner here, you can take a jungler of your own, and IG only have one ban to respond. They're actually going to go for the Nidalee, so
Ambitious.
really aggressive pick. You absolutely want a mid who has prio in this situation so that Nidalee can invade and challenge Olaf. And she's often too mobile for the Olaf to catch. You can obviously leap away from his axes.
Yeah. So what do you want to see? Because Renekton's not available. Normally you'd pair that with something like the Nidalee. But if you want an AD mid, I mean, FoFo could actually pilot the Jayce mid.
Yeah, I mean, it would work. You could potentially, in theory, you could also put the Gwen mid if situations force you to do so, but it's probably going to be the Gwen top and Jayce mid. Again, it has that AD profile. You're going to be able to contest waves quite easily, and you also have the Shock Blast poke, which can go with the spear from the Nidalee. So I like it, and again, it's sticking to that RA theme of that aggression, that early dominance that we saw from them from game 2. IG will go for the Varus once again. And I feel like when you're up against the likes of a Jayce and Nidalee, there's a lot of poke that they'll throw back in return. I do like IG banning the Ziggs. We saw that in game 2. They eliminated that as a good match from Varus. But also, I look at this composition from RA. They would maybe be a bit AP heavy with the Ziggs, but the poke would be obscene.
I wonder if they'll start considering things like the Ezreal just to line that down. Because for RA, we know that iBoy is a Kaisa, Varus, a Aphelios, and then a Kalista main. Those are 4 champions, but everything else drops off after that. So just looking at how RA want to play this, maybe it means a pivot coming through from iBoy.
Potentially could be. The thing is with the Ezreal is that you would get pressured quite a bit by the Varus, but we've seen that RA haven't been really too concerned about Wink in the laning phase. It's kind of been IG's later setup. And we have actually seen that. Oh, sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry, Aux. Hey, it's been a long night. This is our 3rd game, our 3rd best of 3 of the LPL stream, but you and I have gone through a very slow EDG LNG. Now we've gone through a very weirdly paced RA versus IG. It happens, and you know, with all the Gordon quotes as well. I mean, I think it's getting to us.
My throat just imploded for a second, but
it's all right.
As I was saying, I feel like RA often do want to apply that pressure onto the Varus, and there's only limited picks that can do. But we'll see. We'll see what they can find here, ultimately. For now, IG, I expect a mid laner. I don't think you want to reveal your bot lane this early when you don't know what you're going up against. Really dangerous to do so. And it looks like we may end up just getting the Ryze coming out from rookies. So something that scales well. Something that, once it gets some mana in the pocket, can just blitz waves and has that roaming potential. And I think that's important, right? When you know you're going up against Nidalee, it's important that at some point you'll be able to contest waves heavily. RA bot lane options that come out here, you know, we've talked about what iBoy's comfortable on. Things like the Kaisa, which we saw last game, was obviously massive for him. If we do see the Kaisa, I wouldn't be too surprised just to see the Rakan to pair up with it. Very safe pick. There's not too many things that can target it too heavily.
And part of the conditional engage there as well. You mentioned Rakan going through the options for Hung. He's got so many. He actually has one of the widest champion pools in support role. Nautilus wouldn't be too surprising either. But we'll hold on that. We'll see what actually gets picked up. For IG, I want to round out this comp here because as a support, you're going up against a poke comp here. Aux, is it just as simple as, hey, pick Braum?
I think into the Rakan, I wouldn't want to go Braum. I think you need engage, right? I think if you take Braum, your shield can block some poke, but there's some more, right? And I think Nautilus makes sense. It can lock down Kaisa, it can lock down Rakan, it can lock down anyone really just with that ultimate. And I think it's going to be a situation where RA are trying to find the early lead, and then we're going to see poke come out from them around objectives. They'll be kiting back, landing poke, and IG really just want to lock someone down and start the fight, kill a single target, and get the resets onto TheShy.
You'd hope so, because at this time, as IG are trying their heart to be a bit of a thorn in the side. I mean, RA have just blasted them in game number 2, and Aux, don't worry, you know, you take your time. It's been such a big night, and you know, this is our last cast together. This is our last cast of the regular season as well. Importantly, the last time I see IG on my screen. Well, they'll be versing TT, and that'll be an absolute doozy. But I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing about game number 2, is that what I saw in game number 2 is crazy. But I don't like looking back. I'm always consistently looking forward. I'm not the one to sort of sit and cry over spilt milk. I'm too busy looking for the next cow. And that's what game 3 is going to be. The next cow of IG versus RA. Do I make sense? I hope so.
I get the intent, right? I'm not going to fully pretend that I understand the depths of your analogies or that analogy, but I get
that was
the,
a quote.
get the intent.
That was a quote.
That was a quote. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. That's the mind-blowing thing, honestly. Yeah,
I have to find ones where he doesn't swear. That's the hardest part.
That's actually difficult.
It's really difficult. Like, you know, there's good ones that are insults. Like, I wouldn't trust you running a bath, let alone a restaurant. If I'm relaxed, I'd take my foot off the gas, I'd probably die. That's a good one. There's a lot of swearing in there. So we'll move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last game. Last game of the night. Last series here for RA, excuse me. IG still have TT. RA lock in top 6 with a game win here. Series win at that as well. You already talked about comps. A lot of poke on RA's side. And similar 80 carry here for iBoy.
We want to see that early momentum from the mid jungle. I really want to see Leyan. You're playing the Nidalee. Apply that pressure. Use the aggression this champion has, invading and challenging to find success. And I think it's important that your laners facilitate you as well and lean into you and give you the windows to abuse.
Yeah, absolutely. RA just starting on the bottom side here for now as well. Good deep ward from IG to spot this out. And it'll be a mirrored start from Shun heading up towards the top side. Heading up towards the Viego Gwen lane. Makes a lot of sense, right? When it is such a volatile lane that if snowballed, can run out of control.
Absolutely. You got to be cautious. And we saw that, right? It was game 1 where we saw just the Gwen for TheShy absolutely take over the matchup. Now is the matchup flip, but I think honestly it's not completely down to the 1v1. It does come down to that influence from the jungler and how that sort of plays into things. Yep. I do like though that we're having Lucas and Wink on this Nautilus and this Varus. They should be the favored ones in this 2v2, right? They should be in a position of power. And I think we got to be honest, Wink's been not even just underwhelming the series, kind of underwhelming this split. So sort of round things off with a good performance here would be nice to see, because I know we've said they still have that series against TT, but you know, I think even IG should look comfortable against them.
Good trading up on the top side while we're having that chat. Cube gonna hit him back, but TheShy manages to hit the Spectrum more, and that's what counts. Meanwhile, Rookie in the same position as we saw in game number 2. Caught on out, the pounce is there. There's a javelin toss, and Leyan might continue forward, but no flash going to be burnt. Rookie already sent out of lane, has to burn pretty much all his pots.
Yeah, and the wave's in a pretty rough spot for him. You can see he just can't walk up now. And I really like the fact that FoFo let the wave get to this position, allowed Rookie to push in, didn't really contest it. And now it is just in front of this tower. Rookie has to step up to really try and get it to break this freeze. It will eventually naturally break. I believe that wave coming in from FoFo has sort of pushed it forwards. But it still meant that he has fallen a bit down in terms of farm. We also see the fact that obviously Rookie is in a precarious spot because you are going to be threatened. And again, I don't see Shun as really being able to help much, because other than Rookie rooting and then Shun running over, there's not too many windows to punish.
It really isn't. Shun going over a ward now as well, so it's going to give more information to RA where this jungler is. Now he just crosses across mid lane as FoFo blasts them both. And seeing Jayce in the mid, something we talked about a little bit. You know, FoFo pulling this pick out in the mid lane is not something we've seen all that much to split.
Yeah, it hasn't been super common. I've seen it in some other leagues, and obviously it spikes very hard with current lethality items, can do a ton of damage, and you know, you have the balance of being able to trade at a distance and apply pressure while also being able to get in close and melee range and apply threat. Now, we see a very nice route from Leyan to circle round and avoid the ward. But he's actually cutting it a little bit thin, but they are still going to look for it.
But Javelin Toss doesn't connect. There you go, right into the camouflage, and Leyan didn't want to take the tri-brush path around. Instead, TheShy, he just walks back, and he'll just be able to trade back in the same position. He walked all the way back in. And no, Leyan will not be able to close the gap.
I'm not sure why Leyan took that route, only to like cut in, right? If you're taking that route, go to the tri-brush and go around, because you're not avoiding, you're not avoiding any wards if you just cut back into the river. You're actually just walking over more wards. Because if you think about it, if TheShy had a ward in the tri-brush, he would have been spotted. If he has a ward in the brush, in the river, sorry, which he did, you're being spotted. He actually managed a path to walk over both sections. So the idea in theory was nice. The execution, not great there from Leyan, and actually ended up being less efficient. And now it gives this opportunity for IG to challenge on his Raptors, right? This is what you lose by spending so much time top and also being spotted on vision.
Remember how quick an Olaf clears. Raptor, little one left there as an aftermath as well. A Dragon is where Shun's in front of right now, but Leyan gonna use his advantage to get in the bottom side. Wink's already burnt down. The hail of arrow is good, but Wink should die here. Yet again, another first blood. Lucas went in for the dredge line as Hung's low himself, and RA just pull off.
I mean, easy as that. It's just, we saw Leyan take that opportunity bot, and this is kind of the thing, right? You know, after being topside, Leyan is going to become a bot, right? You know that's where his path is going to lead him. That's where the camps respawn. You know he's on Raptors, and still Wink and Lucas overstep, and you have to criticize that, right? I think it's so important to track the jungler, because this is one of those situations where,
caught out. Lucas saved his flash, undertow. After iBoy burns his own, Shun on the chase here, has his own flash. Heal gives movement speed. The undertow cooldown finally comes back up, but iBoy burns both summoners, gets out alive after Lucas burned his.
Yeah, it was actually a nice flash timing to dodge the undertow, and it meant that Olaf couldn't go and grab his axe and was waiting for a long cooldown. But yeah, I mean, this is one of these situations where you've done your Krugs as Nidalee. You can't contest the Scuttle because Shun's there. You've lost your Raptors. All that Leyan can do is gank bot. That is the only reprieve he can find, and all Wink and Lucas have to do is back off. And it's kind of frustrating in those situations, because it's like your junglers set this up to be such a favorable scenario, and all you have to do is not die, and then they end up dying, and it's kind of painful. Now Leyan, with that pressure, he goes top, he steals away the Raptors from Shun, he steals that Scuttle Crab as well. He's now level 6, he's found a lead over the Olaf, and has that kill in pocket, which was that first blood. So from a position which looked not bad as such, but a little bit behind, he's found a lot of strength here and a pretty sizable lead in the jungle.
I mean, Hextech Alternator on a Nidalee as well. The Javelin toss is going to sting. For IG, they're trying to influence top lane for now, but Leyan is also up here. I'm not sure what they're going to make of this. They're too early for Herald as well, Aux.
Yeah, I mean, this is very early for the Herald, and they're just going to essentially stand around a little bit. Leyan actually finds Shun. I think he can go in on this.
Well, Lucas is still nearby. Level advantage, no Ragnarok available. Second Javelin toss doesn't connect. Shun just going to pick up some lettuce and walk away from Woolies. And IG, they're really committing to early access of vision, as Herald now 10 seconds to go.
And this doesn't mean they have control in the area, but again, they've spent so much time that now Shun has to go and clear a vision. Because Wink doesn't have a support in the bot lane, he has to give up priority, and that means iBoy and Hung can now move up. So actually, IG grouping too early is kind of really backfiring here, because now RA are 4 members strong, and they can start looking for plays. They are fishing for Lucas here, but I think they've cottoned onto it, and they're not going to face check. But essentially, your entire bot side jungle is now forfeit. Yes, you should be able to get the Herald here. Oh, they are looking for a dive actually in the top lane.
Okay, that's quick realm warp. IG with 3, then 4 members with Shun taking the blast cone. This Gwen will not survive, and TheShy, after taking up the turret, picks up his kill of the game. Gets a reset as well, and it'll be turret plating and the Herald that IG will evolve the play to.
But critically, with no wave there, and Cube didn't even burn his ultimate or his ignite, you don't really get... I mean, you gain the kill, which is nice. You gain a plate, which is, again, nice, but it's not super substantial. Yep. You've now seen that Leyan just cleared out 2 of your camps on the bot side, and is still in time to defend on this Herald, and it just feels like IG kind of mismanaged the pressure a little bit here. They managed to cement a bit of a lead for TheShy in the top lane, but it's at the cost of their jungle matchup, because, you know, Shun and Lucas are around this Herald. They've been here for such a long time.
I'm trying to look at what happened in bot. Wink, every time he's on the screen, I'm not too sure. We're seeing a TP from TheShy in our main screen, while I'm trying to work out what we actually just witnessed. It wasn't iBoy burning flash or ulti or anything. I guess it was Wink walking down. I don't know if you caught that there, Aux, but I saw absolutely
I have no
nothing.
idea what we were looking at, honestly.
Yep. We saw Wink bot.
They just wanted to show us that, yes, AD carries exist in the game, because it appears both teams have kind of forgotten that. They've been left on an island alone, and the rest of them are trying to set up this Herald. But again, RA are just buying time constantly, and it really feels like, you know, we actually had even farm between the junglers, and there's now a 20 CS lead for Leyan, because he cleared that bot side, and now he's cleared the top side, and Shun's just been waiting around the Herald this whole time. It's really inefficient. It's really bad, actually. And they will finally start hitting the Herald. We'll see if RA are able to contest. They are actually looking for TheShy top lane.
Oh, that Javelin toss. Good dodge away. Burst again. Hextech Alternator. It's already been mentioned. and should finally get the Herald. You're right, it is bad because he's just wasted so much time, level disadvantage. And Shun, meanwhile, he farmed up bot camps that Shun had. He farmed up his own topside camps. This Nidalee is having a great time while Shun's just on a holiday, AFKing in front of a big purple thing.
Yeah, and now, you know, you think about the value of a Herald, right? Minimum is you get the 2 plates, which is 320 gold. But if you don't get more than that, heck, if RA destroy it before it gets to hit a tower, you've lost out substantially because there is cost to the fact that you stood there for so long. So I really need to see IG make something happen with this Herald. Otherwise, we'll lose a fair bit. Now, they are looking towards this dragon. But again, Leyan's just been farming more and more. And I think this is kind of Shun being in a position where there's not much else he really wants to do. He will, however, be able to pick up these camps that respawn on the bot side. So just establishing vision as a priority. This would be a very late dragon for whichever team picks it up. So Soul kind of not really in a talking point because it's going to be 31 minutes minimum. And that's if it's taken now.
Really hasn't been a talking point tonight. I mean, we've seen what? I don't think we've seen assaults now. No, we've seen one. We've seen an Ocean Soul coming through in this series.
Yeah.
But tonight has just been the story of late Souls coming through, where the early games have been focused more so around the early Herald. Dragon is an afterthought. Even Shun right now doesn't care. He's going towards mid as FoFo alls in. Right on top of Rookie. There's an undertow, but because Leyan is here, Chilling Smite dropped down. And a Javelin Toss thrown out. Rookie able to kite that one away. And now Shun thinking about Dragon once again, but this is going to have to be started and taken quickly.
Yeah, you can see that it's very much RA leaning towards the top side, more prioritizing trying to shut down the Shy and steal away camps rather than the Dragon necessarily. Shy is actually going to find Leyan here.
He is. He's going all in. That's an Ignite down. He wants on top of Leyan, but Hung's roamed up. The Shy 1v3ing. Lucas can't get there. Kill given over to Cube. Lucas now kind of baited by his teammate. Dredgeline won't save him either. A depth charge, not good enough. FoFo with his first kill, and that was kind of troll.
And I don't understand the reason here, right? You know the RA are playing through topside. You know they've completely abandoned the Dragon. You can see from iBoy's positioning, they did have wards there. I have no idea why they opt to go for that play to defend their weak side. Just give your weak side up, play through the bot side. You have Herald. Just force bot.
RA just picked up their 7,000th kill. Let's be positive. That's sick. That's great. 7,000 kill in the LPL. Cool. I wonder if that includes VODS Gaming. I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure it... Ooh. Actually, I feel like that would... Yes, it does. I've just been told yes, it does. Does include VODS Gaming. So, bit of history there for you, folks.
Pretty wild if it was just when they became
that'd be a lot
of kills.
End of last year. So, that's crazy. Hey, I took you away from having to talk about that moment. There you go.
Yeah, that's good, honestly. And I think RA, we can focus on them. They've been proactive. They've been making things happen. IG finally will throw down that Herald. And it will get them first tower. That's something. But remember, there's a lot of cost associated with this Herald.
There was 610 gold is going to be given back, but you're right. It's still not enough from what we've seen. IG evening up in gold for now, but I just want to point out that turret plating in the bottom side mid. This dive as well. Wink being targeted. Once again.
Okay, this is now feeling a bit more worth it, right?
Yep.
Take the tier 2, 1,000 gold. Now we're talking in terms of IG trading up, but definitely took a lot. And we do see on the other side, RA, fortunately for IG, the plate's time out. So they will be able to get this tower on the next wave. They won't get nearly as much gold. And I think the big thing is you got to think about the resources being allocated, right? Leyan is really far ahead of Shun, and that's even with Shun picking up those plates top and the tier 2 tower, right? You got a ton of gold from that, and he's still down. He's down in 2 levels down in experience, down substantially in farm. But let's look at the payoff. TheShy, 1,800 gold up. You can look at the turrets there, 520 gold worth of plates coming under TheShy. He's definitely enjoying that.
Hung has to use the quickness immediately. Coming back to your point, what you were saying there as well. I mean, he's been able to pick up a Divine Sundra. Ninja Tabi already there. I believe that's a Negatron Cloak. 122 CS. So, yeah, TheShy, even after dying a couple of times, is in a pretty decent position. And Shun alongside him now partnering up, looking to push that tempo further.
Yeah, they could actually find Cube here. Remember, there's no tier 2 tower.
That's a heartbreaker straight away. You're right. No safety net. Leyan's coming, though.
It's
Spectral Maw and a flash immediately. Ragnarok, Olaf on top of Cube. TheShy's going to get a reset. It's a Gwen, but I think IG don't need to be here. Doesn't get his ulti out. That's the big part. And his Dredge line depth charge, onto Leyan, gets a knock up. RA are on the chase. Pull out the Hellbelly music. Rookie and Lucas are on the run. A shock blast that doesn't connect, and Hung wants himself a W, but he just uses it to get over the wall. Lucas with an auto. RA all in. Rookie gets ignited down. Jayce damage is massive. And FoFo picks up number 2. And that was a very deep play.
That was an IG moment, if I've ever seen one. Going that super deep play to kill Cube there. And TheShy ends up getting taken out. We also see 2 other members go. On counterpoint, Wink is able to pick up that bot lane tower, but it is traded for the top one. So still very RA favored. And it's just, the question is why? Why do you need to go for that play? Why are you diving so deep when the enemy team is there to defend? It's just a lot of question marks. And we do see now that RA are resetting, and I should think would potentially be setting up for that bot lane, bot side dragon, but we'll see how this play once went out. And just look how deep this is, right? You have RA coming back from bases, so everyone's in position to follow up. It takes a long time to kill Cube because we didn't even have Jun in range initially, and then it's just cleaning up from there for RA.
Observer, why did you slow that down? That was so PM. Hung didn't get the flash over the wall. He flashed on the spot. It is a hard wall to flash, to be fair.
Big wall.
You need a big wall. So,
you know what? You know what? Go to the practice duel, Hung, and just practice it again and again and again. That's the solution. Use the Herald. Go pretty low, but
Hung,
look at the
flank. That's massive. He's got a huge quickness as iBoy. Killer instincts in. Invictus Gaming got the Herald, but was it worth it? You don't put that one in all chat. FoFo ready to blast him as Rookie, the only one to survive. That's the answer for now. Invictus Gaming lose them all, and RA couldn't be happier.
I mean, it's just a great flank from the Rakan. You can see IG all set up on the Herald, all clumped. The follow-up is there, and you have, you know, like this huge AoE damage from the shock blast. You have Cube sliding forwards with the needlework, just shredding everyone. It just felt like an easy fight pickup for the side of RA. IG get crushed. They're now 4,000 gold down, and we see RA translate that quickly into the dragon.
Well, IG might be going out with an absolute bang once again here in this series. A Nidalee, a Jayce that are in such great position. Hung is 007, and yeah, 007 makes some mistakes. He gets messy sometimes. He might not flash over the wall, but this flanking angle was spot on.
And actually, even Lucas interrupted his W with his dredge line. It could have been a lot worse, but either way, the quickness still connects, and the follow-up is there instantly from the rest of the team. Just not a good position to be in when there's that flank angle available, and they needed to kite back a little bit sooner.
All right. What do you do here, Orcs? What do you do if you are ready to just keep pushing the tempo? I mean, side lanes feel like a very good time right now for FoFo, especially.
Yeah, I think what you can do is you can kind of leave Cube to defend the bot side, and you push in as a unit through the other 2 lanes, right? You have FoFo push deep, and then when he has that deep push, you can kind of just leave that. So right now, you see in the top lane, there's that big wave that's been pushed. Someone has to answer that, right? And then while that's happening, you know on the other side of the map, that person's not really going to be there. FoFo can just go into the fog of war. If he's in the fog of war, the enemy team has to respect him, and he can push very aggressively on the other side. And we see them looking for it now.
Oh, iBoy's in. Goodbye, TheShy. Death number 4. And the person with the most gold on IG once again goes to the fountain.
Yeah, gets taken down, and Leyan's go very aggressive in this situation. But again, he's got the team to follow him up. They haven't seen FoFo in a while, so they don't even know where the Jayce is. Nice dodge.
Yeah, straight away, Chains of Corruption are down again, and Hung's into the back line once more. Here's QB as Leyan gets kill number 5. Just keep counting them, folks. It's 12-2, and this game, once again, feels pretty donezo.
And it's a really nice setup, though, for RA. They push that top wave in. Rookie has to answer. They rotate over. FoFo's in the fog of war, so they can't see him. And then they go very aggressive. They get that kill. They get the kill on the Shy. They get that kill onto Wink. They get the tower there. They chunk them out. That's how they use that side lane pressure effectively. It's really textbook from RA, but it's nice to see it being executed, and they just find a massive advantage. Not giving IG any breathing room. And this, pretty slick from Leyan just to dodge out of that, but then Hung just goes straight in with a knockup.
Once again, good stuff. Actually gets a knock up this time and doesn't get interrupted by Lucas. Lucas's depth charge, the only reason that no more kills are found after the first death. And now 5k gold lead on your screen. Aux, I'm about to sneeze. Take it away.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably see similar things coming out where we see them play the side lane, you push it in deep, someone has to answer, and then that person goes in the fog of war, and you go very aggressive on the other side of the map because the enemy team has to assume you have 5 members there. If they don't, they don't respect it, which IG, haven't been respecting. Very easy answer. We see a similar thing here, right? Cube is missing on the map. He has TP as well. RA know that TheShy is dealing with this wave, so they can push in super aggressive. They land some poke on Wink. They take complete control, and Shun actually might be in a bit of trouble. This is definitely an open win.
He has flash, but the damage way too much. iBoy with another kill. And guys, we got 4 out of 5 bounties. 009. Doesn't sound as cool as 7, but RA taking everything. Cube right now, can he solo kill? Heartbreaker out. Yes. Needlework wins out. The bounty continues, and RA start the Baron.
Yep, they have what they need. Cube can reset here and TP in, have full HP. They don't even need to, though. The jungle is dead. It should just be an easy, secure coming out. And,
yeah, Wink's dead.
It's a repeat of game 2.
It is a repeat of game 2. It shouldn't be.
Wink.
It really shouldn't be, though, should it? Because this game started out a lot more competitive, but IG went so deep. It feels like they did this to themselves. Hung over the wall. Hello, rookie. Leyan will one-shot spear you. Javelin toss doesn't connect, and that's a depth charge. Rookie able to spread the spell flux. Always looks pretty scary when you're in a choke, but RA still win out. They don't lose anyone, and Baron has been acquired. You know what? We'll call it a night.
And I think the big thing for me is that the difference is what these teams have done with their leads, right? Because IG had a lead in the top lane, and they just try to push aggressively, really deep. There was no reason why RA couldn't have been there to defend, and they weren't grouped up initially. It was only 2 members of IG there when they went for that deep top lane play. For RA, every single time they've had someone pushes that side lane, they then go into the fog of war with TP, so they're ready to join at any moment, and then 4 members, not 2, not even 3, 4 members push together, and IG get caught out. And that is why they've done so much better with this lead, because IG could have done the same thing, but they didn't. That's a critical thing, and RA are handling their advantage very effectively. This is why we're not playoffs. This is why they're one of our top teams, and on this series win would get top 6, because they understand how to make a lead expand and how to do it safely and in a way where IG can't really respond. And once again, they're going to use that pressure. They have the Baron now. Rookie, I think you might just die here.
Well, Hung is the person who's taking the damage. He just used quickness. Dodges away from Dredgeline. Nice from Hung. Try and bait him in, and the turret goes down anyway, so it's still a win for RA. Coming back to your point, I mean, this is why RA are fighting for top 6 here tonight. There's a good chance that RA could be top 4, seeing as how our standings roll themselves out. RA, a team that, I'll be honest, in spring especially, I didn't have any faith in. This split, I've always looked at them as like a top 8 kind of team. But RA have developed quite a lot, and this has been their split. This has been a split where they could make a run. A lot of people are saying, oh, I think RA will be the 4th team at World. Genuinely, fans have come to me and said, you know, oh, outside of FPX, RNG, EDG, they think RA. And there's a lot of people starting to think that. So whether you take it from this series or whatever you've seen in the split, Rare Atom are a team that are increasingly on people's minds and, you know, might be in that topic of conversation. We just got to find out in playoffs, because remember, this is their last series. If they win this, they'll finish on 11 wins. Top 4, a massive potential for Rare Atom if they can win this game 3, which it looks like it, because Rookie's going to realm warp away. And this is just the pressure that's coming through from this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard for IG to step up at all to RA in these situations. And they've been a bit more respectful now, but the mistakes have already been made, right? There's just been a substantial advantage for RA that's been established on the back of the Baron, on the back of the 80 kills. There's a 10k gold lead. It's not a good spot to be in. And I'm really wondering what IG can do. They still have things. The single target CC is a critical thing, right? You have the Chains of Corruption. You have the CC from Lucas on the Nautilus. If you lock someone down and you kill them, TheShy can start to get resets. And that kind of has to be the game plan here.
Although optimistic. He does have a wit's end, but I want to point out there's a Cosmic Drive onto Cube, who's just solid, pushing the turret away. Hung's in once more. Ragnarok just has to be burnt off cooldown, and he's bursted. Hung will sacrifice his own life as TheShy is trying for iBoy. Heartbreaker getting the 80 carry. He doesn't have a flash, but he's looking for the movement speed. Healed up with Leyan on the wing. A messy fight for a team that's 11,000 gold ahead, but at the end of the day, FoFo auto-attacks twice, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, we see TheShy trying to find the angle, trying to circumvent things, but it's just not possible. RA are too strong and crush the rest of his team now. Leyan,
Okay,
looking for this kill.
There's a lot of burst here. Javelin toss at melee range. Who's going to win it out? This is intense, but Leyan pounces. The thumbs go up, and the ace is acquired.
And with that, this should just be the series win. Shun is coming up to defend. We'll see what he can do.
Let's see it. 25 minutes. RA, I think, have to back away. You're right. Lucas and Shun still able to defend this one. And RA, you're saying it before, they don't take as many risks. They're a safe team, and they're not going to overestimate as Lucas gets the dredge line. That's a TP. That seems a little bit like a bait. I feel like Lucas, rookie in all chat. Should I TP? Lucas, yes. And Lucas is going to run away. Maybe not all chat. That's
where Lucas goes, no, cancel it. And Ricky's like, I can't do it. It's been like 2 years.
True. Been more than that. It's been like 4 years since you could cancel TP.
True. Like it's been so long. It's weird to think about.
It's a weird mechanic. Everyone who thinks about it now, you should think that you are League of Legends boomers. iBoy, Killer Instinct, that was easy. Dredge line in, but Shun will be the new target. And iBoy gets blasted down for 1,000 gold, but Nexus is exposed. RA, top 6 secured. How far can this team go in playoffs is the new question.
And it's huge for them. Locking that top 6, you can see the looks on their faces. Just really great position to be in. And again, it keeps the potential for top 4 open. You're guaranteed to skip that first round, but the potential for more. And I think it's a good way to round out the season for this team. IG, you know, they weren't going to make playoffs anyway. They at least put up a good fight in one of their games, but it just wasn't enough. And I think it's kind of the expected outcome, right?
Yeah, it is. When IG been playing like they have been. And I guess I need to give added context before we start celebrating RA. IG didn't have their top laner or their coach, Coach Martha, flying in. And sorry, Coach No Fake, excuse me. I'm really going back to 2018, aren't I? They didn't have their coach and their starting top laner for a long time. So there's been no stability in this team. And that's a caveat I will give, that this 5-10 team who is looking to round out against TT at the end of the week, you just got to ask yourself, like, is this why IG had the worst split they've had since this roster came together, since TheShy and Rookie have been on the roster? So a lot of questions here, Orcs, but I'm glad that RA rounded them out towards the end of the series, because that series, especially game 2, was something. That was something.
It was an experience, and fair play to RA for understanding that they needed the early pressure, the momentum. They talked a lot in the interviews about the tempo of IG, how they are a fast-paced team, and they managed to beat them at that. And I think that the big thing is, although we say that RA are a more safe, more stable team, that doesn't mean they can't push advantages. That doesn't mean they're just playing Azir compositions to scale up to 30 minutes, even though, you know, they did have that one game, which was a little bit interesting. But they're a team who very much structure how they push their leads and do it in the correct manner, and I think that's why they just came out ahead in this one. And even though IG had some early leads, even though TheShy was ahead, it just wasn't enough. And I think it's credit to RA for being able to bounce back from that loss against IG, and also just being able to play this out very cleanly overall.
And in a composition that can fall flat on its face. We talked a lot about the Nidalee, the Jayce coming through. Like, if these champions don't get off the ground, then nothing's going to happen. And, you know, you're versing a Ryze, a Viego. We knew what IG's comp could become, but Rare Adam found a couple of those windows. IG overextended, and they got punished hard. So, yeah, there's a lot we could probably break down in this series, but it's been such a long day. I mean, it's been insane that, you know...
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey. I just realized I'm still wearing the Sheds jacket.
You're probably very hot right now.
Yeah, well, you know, kitchens. Always hot, you know.
Can't handle the heat.
That's right. Get out of the kitchen. Nice. Nicely done. That's actually quote number 6 on here. Right, it's right after your pizza is so disgusting, if you take it to Italy, you'll get arrested. Another favorite. Another favorite. To round that out, this is a really tough decision because you're both crap. That wasn't here today. And I don't think that's really a swear word, so I think I'm okay with that one. Today,
we'll go with it.
RA versus IG. I mean, IG
I have a
game
quick question,
one
though.
Yeah, please, please.
I have a quick question though. We're gonna see our MVP, but I want to ask, if you had to define each team by a meal, what would it be? Putting you on the spot here.
I think Rare Adam would be like a fettuccine, maybe like a blue cheese linguine, you know, like a blue cheese pasta, where you can have it in bursts and you enjoy it, but not more than, you know, once a week. IG would be seafood. No, wait, no, they wouldn't. No, I think FPX would be fresh seafood. I don't know. You gotta get back. Bring up Hung MVP first, and I'll taste this. What do I think? What team would I? What team would you put? What food would you put RA and IG?
I think for me, IG, I think there'd be like, isn't it a souffle where if you make noise it like collapses?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pickled.
So like it looks good and then it just implodes and it's like, oh, well, at least, you know, at least I look good for a bit.
I was gonna say it's like, you know, IG. It's not like a food. It's like food poisoning. You know, you don't realize until it's too late. Oh,
yeah, it's medium rare chicken.
Yeah, no, it's raw. Because fun fact, I had chicken sashimi in Japan. That's a thing, as I found out, and I was like, that's what it is. IG is chicken sashimi. It's a risk.
Okay.
When it does work out and it's clean chicken, you know, you go, wow, that was amazing. But every other time, you don't know if you trust it. There you go, chicken sashimi, perfect.
And you know what? It wasn't too clean today. I think we can definitely say that much.
that was food poisoning today. Yeah. That was some food poisoning today. We've been saved by the bell. Wendy and Hung standing by for